Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to day 2 of my algo trading journey of making a profitable algo trading system. Yesterday I posted my very first video explaining what I'm doing here, which is daily forward testing updates to see how my futures algorithms perform in real market conditions. Today was the first real test day, of course, coming off the holiday break. Absolutely wild runs in futures today. So basically, yeah, some things broke immediately. But that's actually the point of forward testing, so that's good news. So let's get into everything that happened. So going into today, the plan was pretty simple. I was just going to turn on my TradingView alerts, which you can see here. I have a number of them running. 35 I have not reviewed that have actually triggered, and send commands to NinjaTrader through CrossTrade, crosstrade.io, and then, which is here, and then take those trades and run them here on NinjaTrader. So back on CrossTrade, just want to address this quickly. You can see here it says inactive. That's because my account, my trial that I set up on this email just expired at market close today. So I will go ahead and upgrade, although sadly I just missed the Black Friday deal, but that's neither here nor there. So back on track. So right away I tested the connection, and as soon as I tested it, the system closed a position for negative $2.84 lost. And then I tested again, and that happened again and again and again. And what I found, the first thing I found was the chart was not updating. So I disconnected from my data service and then reconnected. And then all of a sudden I had a massive movement on the position. So I just sent a simple command, and instead of the system holding the position, NinjaTrader opened it and then immediately flattened it. So that was the case until I restarted the connection. So I don't know what the heck that was about. But it basically told me one of two things. The ATM settings were firing instantly, or my Pine script was alerting maybe multiple times within milliseconds, which would create an open close loop. So, this is exactly why once you get a strategy figured out in TradingView that you like the back test results, you got to forward test it to see if it's actually going to perform in line with what you're seeing on those back tests. So after I disconnected and reconnected the data, suddenly the chart here on Ninja was showing movement. But the positions were massively negative. So that was obviously non-ideal. So we moved on from there. So as you can see, and I need to reorganize all this better, but I'm running 5 different algos. I'm calling them algos. They're TradingView strategies with commands and alerts through CrossTrade. I'm running those on these different sim names, and I'll rename all these and make everything one thing and cohesive. So sim account 101, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all ones I tested today. 10 we can ignore. That was one I was just using to do test commands from the dashboard in CrossTrade. So nothing was actually forward testing, fully automatically from account 10. So I'm just going to remove it just so it's not in the middle of everything else. So I reset. Everything started at, oh my gosh, I'm such a dork. I thought I just lost all my data. Everything started at 50,000, all these accounts. You can see this one was down slightly, ended up being down to 49,881. This one lost about $1,000, down to 49,057. This one's down to 49,658, 48,600. But then there's this one. There's this one here, 50,761. So that's a positive. That's a win because that just algo traded all day. And I don't know why I have this popping up while I'm trying to record this video. which is great. So somewhere in here I have a screenshot of the positions earlier in the day. This was the test data reconnection issue I had. So this account, the sim account 4, was up to a $1,550 gross P&L, $1,504 realized P&L on the day. Also, the Sim 101 was also up quite a bit. Now, two things here. After about 1 Eastern time, 11 o'clock my time, this Sim 101 is when it started to go negative. Now, prior to this, it was up about 500 on the day. And then this one here, I had a fluke happen today with the 1500. So here is something else that I found. So I sent a trade via, of course, TradingView, right? Well, I didn't. The Algo did. And it seems that some trades were missed. So here's what I mean. We could see in the results, not the results, in the list of the alert history in CrossTrade here. Those are all going to fail because the account is currently, inactive. But we had some moments within, and I don't think this is a CrossTrade thing at all because CrossTrade is really cool. So I was getting out of sync errors. And when it was saying it was out of sync, its command was then to flatten the trade. So we saw this on sim account 1. We saw this on sim account 4 earlier, and then there's 1 again. I saw it on pretty much all the accounts. Here's a 4 one. So what happened in this case was I would have a situation where a trade was supposed to have closed on sim account 4 for a profit, but it didn't close because of a sync issue. So, trades either go up or down. So luckily, but also not so luckily, there was a runner and it went way high and it took us out of $400 P&L on the day to $1,500. So I manually closed that, but that's problematic because since this is sort of a laboratory account where I don't want any human intervention, I basically tainted the vial on the very first day. So that is skewing the total results here on this day. So is it a total disaster? We're about as close as we can get without having a total disaster, other than this account ended positive. So the Sim 101 account, and I'm happy to do another video on this, is actually the dulcimer strategy that I made. What's really interesting about the dulcimer strategy is if I go to 7 days, how about we just do 90 days actually? It shows a net loss. However, if you change this one parameter from the bar magnifier going off, it becomes a positive P&L, quite significant. Hence the drive to figure out how to do successful algo trading. So, this is for a different video, but, why that one changes the results so much says a lot to me. But if we just looked at today's date range, which is 12-1, 12-1, this is showing 740 positive on the day with 5 trades at 100% profit rate. Oh, but then see, here's another little detail. That's on a 2-minute. On the 1-minute chart, it shows 160. So now the question is, okay, well, did I run this on a 1 or 2-minute? Okay, so a 1-minute. So plus 160 and 286 drawdown with 5 trades. We obviously still have, although we're profitable here, on the Sim 101, this is maybe oh my gosh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Sim account 4, it's probably a fluke, but maybe it's not, because this ended up with $700 profit. Whereas if we were executing trades exactly like the back test, we'd be at 160. So this is all to say it's time to drill into the strategy, the Pine script. Maybe the recalculation setting is, affecting things in some way. Maybe my Pine script isn't triggering buys and sells exactly at the place I want them to. I don't know, right? So day one, there's a lot to unpack and a lot of mysteries to resolve. I know this is in no way coherent or clear, but I just want to kind of stream of consciousness, get my reaction from the day out. And yeah, I'll try to organize these videos a little more in the future going forward. I'm going to spend I'm committing 2 hours a day to unraveling and improving the algos. Obviously, we have a absolute myriad of questions and line items here to address. I'll just pick what I can and try to, get those cleared up, I guess. So that's my second video here on creating a profitable algo trading system. And yeah, feel free to give me a subscribe, a like, comment, whatever, and let me know if you're running a successful algo trading system or strategy. What's working for you? Are you getting payouts? Have you scaled to multiple prop accounts? Are you trading your own capital? Let's just figure out how to do this together. So that's it for now. I'm going to get to work on unpacking the alert log as compared to NinjaTrader's execution log, as compared to the full alert history, and as compared to the backtest results, looking at the timestamps, the executions, etc., to see how we can make the forward test look as nice as the back test. Because if this back test were accounting for even some slippage, and I think I have 3 points in here, even if we had 5 points of slippage, we're still looking at in a month, $5,000 in P&L. But perhaps, just perhaps, 5046 was scaled to, say, 10 prop accounts. That's a $50,000 payout in the month. So trying to look at the big picture and not go for big wins in the algo system, but absolute consistency with back testing and with execution times based on where the Pine script is looking for entries and dialing that in. So, okay, there we go. Help me get my goal is to have 1 subscriber. So if you subscribe to me, if ever down the future I start selling some products or something, I don't know, that's a terrible example. I'm never going to do that. I don't know. You get lifetime access just to be my best friend. Subscribe. We're friends forever. All right. Thanks.